Hear ye, and welcome to the Royal Geek Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Rollison, also known as T-Roll, and tonight, you already know it, I'm joined by my good friends. First of all, we have Justin Sandoval, a.k.a. Sandy, and we also have Anthony Amato, who we like to call Shamato. Boys, good to be back with y'all. How we doing tonight?
Yeah, we live in the South, and I hate pollen. That's all.
That's
all I got to say.
I haven't even seen the pollen
Dude,
yet.
it started.
I saw it. I was in Alabama like last week, and I saw some.
It started. I know because my eyes, my nose, they tell me.
Yeah, it's bad for you.
Yeah.
You got really bad.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing all right.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's okay.
You don't have any pollen issues?
No, not really.
No.
Pollen doesn't really.
I wake up every morning, and I do eye drops, nasal spray, and a pill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks to be
That's
me.
intense.
Are you sure this isn't just you looking at your favorite football team?
Oh, yeah. Maybe. We'll see.
Combo effect. Combo
yeah,
effect.
no, they're currently combo, yeah.
Combo effect for sure. All right. Well, big shout out to all of our listeners. Thank you for tuning in. So thankful you're here. We have a fun, different type of episode tonight.
Keep with the theme of March Madness.
Yeah, that's right. Keep with the theme March Madness, which is right around the corner. The tournament starts next week. Last week we did a fun. Hopefully, listen to it. It was the longest podcast we've ever done. We had the boys from the Anime Pod over to do an epic bracket breakdown of the top 32 Pokemon in the first generation of Pokemon, and it was insane.
Yeah, we apologize for the 2.5 hour runtime. It's literally like Dune. It's Dune Part 2, essentially. But all you guys who made it through, like, you're the real ones.
Yeah, we appreciate
Steven,
you.
I'm talking to you, buddy. I'm talking to you. But anyway, appreciate you guys.
Yeah, to listen to that whole thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm not expecting great numbers on that one, but that's okay. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. We had a great time.
We had a great time. But
we didn't expect to talk that long. But
no, we really didn't, honestly. Like,
I blame Trevor, but
it's totally Trevor's fault. Yeah. Yes. But seriously, big shout out to all of our listeners, everyone who tunes in all the time. We really appreciate you. Tonight we're going to get back to our kind of superhero theme. We've got another bracket discussion. We are going to be covering the new X-Men show, the animated show that's going to start next week. And so we're going to be covering that starting next week. And we've got some other movies and projects we're working on. But, we're kind of doing some fill in the gap kind of shows lately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All these bracket shows. And we've got another one tonight, which I'm excited about. And you know what I'm really excited about? I'm going to get to sit back, relax, and just answer questions. I'm not the host tonight.
Yeah.
I brought us in, but Justin, you're guiding us, man.
Yeah, let's do this. It's kind of more of mine and Shimato's forte.
Tell the people what this is.
We're finally doing this. I feel like we should have done this like years and years ago.
Yeah, we've talked about this in different ways.
But yeah, we are going to do a bracket, a Marvel versus DC bracket, and we're going to have 8 heroes from each company represented here.
Yeah.
The heroes are more recognizable. I didn't go for like obscure heroes. I didn't do like.
You didn't go for deep cuts. You went for
I didn't go for like Booster Gold. Like we're doing.
Yeah.
We're sticking to fairly like cinematic universe.
Gotcha.
/ TV / But don't let that affect your judgment. You can use it as your judgment, but you can use any knowledge you have of this character.
We're voting on whoever.
Yeah,
our preference.
Yeah, we're voting on our favorite heroes. Okay, not who would win in a fight. Let me clarify that because if we were voting on who would win in a fight,
We're not who's the most popular according to other experts.
correct. Sure, why not? We'll see.
Yeah.
It's your favorite. It's whoever your personal.
So if you like a
favorite.
legendary bird over a tiny yellow mouse, that's okay.
No, not at all. Not for you.
Okay, let's turn this off and
You're
start
revoked.
over.
Your decision making is revoked. Anyway, so yeah, because if we were doing on who would beat who, the 2 1-seeds, we just might as well just start off with them. But we're not going to do that.
Why do we do that? I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, I know. All right, so for 16-team bracket.
Okay.
For the first matchup, let's just get into this.
Man, I'm fired up. All right, let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm never on this side of things.
First matchup, 1 8-seed, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
First, let's have a play-in game for the 8-seed to see who plays the 1-seed.
Oh.
Okay? So to get
round
into
zero.
the 8-seed.
And
round
real
zero.
quick, you mentioned this off the pod. I don't know if you said it on the pod. Every first-round matchup is it's designed to be DC versus Marvel.
Yes,
just so we
correct.
get as much of that as possible.
Correct, yes. Every matchup is
in the first round.
First round is DC versus Marvel.
All right, cool.
So, all right. The play-in game for
one side of the bracket.
For one side of the bracket. We're going to call this side the DC bracket, all right? For the DC side, DC region, all right? The number 8 seed play-ins for Marvel.
From Marvel, yeah.
Doctor Strange.
All right.
Wow.
Is going to be playing Deadpool.
All right.
So The first matchup
Okay,
to
so
get
it's
into
not,
the 8.
so it's
8
not
seed.
just heroes; it's characters. I thought you said it was only heroes.
Heroes and / anti-heroes. So yeah.
Will there be a God of Mischief at making an
No,
appearance?
there will not be a God of Mischief. Sorry.
I'm already not liking this bracket.
Loki was more towards villain throughout his entirety of his character's existence, and Deadpool was more towards hero. So I went ahead and did that. So anyway,
right, fair
Deadpool
enough.
versus Doctor Strange, first round matchup.
Oh man,
That's an interesting matchup. You know, you have Stephen Strange coming in as Doctor Strange. He, of course, has a great connection with the with magic in the Marvel universe, and could definitely, to tell you the truth, I would love to see the two of these interact in the MCU, just because of the way that he
Dynamic character dynamic,
like the
yeah.
way that he could mess with Deadpool would make some pretty hilarious moments. Like
you know, watch Deadpool react to it.
Yes, just
Yeah.
like the kind of almost like when Loki is falling infinitely for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it would be hilarious to see Deadpool like, falling for 30 minutes, or his reaction to that, or, being put into the mirror dimension, and like whatever, things he can mess with him in that realm would be, I think, really cool to see.
Yeah, that is fun. I think. Oh man, it's tough because Deadpool is literally created to be the most likable. Like his whole persona in.
Yes.
I don't know if it's like that in the comics, but in the
It's in the comics.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah, 100%.
Okay, but in the Fox universe and soon to be in the MCU, like Deadpool is literally created to be the most likable
Correct. Yeah.
person ever.
And Doctor Strange is kind of meant to be a little bit unlikable.
Yeah, like
Know-it-all.
Benedict
Yeah.
helps.
Yes, he's been handed everything.
Yeah.
Like, even though he technically had his hands taken away, like he almost
He could have still lived a great life. If
yes,
he didn't have
yes.
his
Like
hands,
he's
yeah.
he's this
Yeah.
amazing
Super
doctor,
rich, yeah.
and then he like ends up becoming an amazing sorcerer, and it's like, he kind of has everything handed to him all like
Right.
in every part of his life.
Yeah.
Um,
Flip side, like Wade has everything taken away from him. Like
Yes,
he gets
essentially.
cancer. He
Yes.
literally gets cancer,
Yes,
and then
he-
all of his people around him just get murdered.
And I mean, the Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe is like one of my favorite comic book runs. Like, it is really good. It's it's funny, but it's also like there's some very like poignant moments about like your own personal freedom.
Yeah.
Like it really dives into that, and it's interesting because he almost like in that run, it's almost he isn't just killing them to kill them like in a comical way. It's he sees that he's almost like freeing these characters from the torture that is being in a comic book. Like what the writers do to you as a comic book character.
The control they have over
yes,
you,
the
yeah.
control and like the way like what they put you through, and he sees like killing them as a release from their prison,
So,
essentially.
all that being said, I have a feeling I know which way you're voting, but who are you voting for, Shamato?
I mean,
To play the 1 seed. Keep in mind, this is to play the 1 seed.
I can't play that game. Like I know what it is.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose between these two characters in a vacuum, I gotta go Deadpool.
Okay. T-roll.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of character you like more, that's how we're voting. Again, it's just Deadpool is so likable. And for me, I'm going to go Deadpool. Let me tell you why. For me, Doctor Strange, nothing against him, but I mean, I genuinely like his character, his skill set. I think he's very strong, but I guess I enjoy watching Deadpool more.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
on screen, on camera.
Yeah.
And that might not be how I vote all night in this podcast.
And
but
the
right
way
now
he
it
is on screen is exactly how he is in the comic books. Like it's like one of the best adaptions. Period.
Yeah,
So-
it's really good. Like and like I've read through a lot of his, well, not a lot of his runs, but I've run through a few of his runs, and they're all really good. And
So
interesting.
basically, Deadpool's moving on. I also would have voted for Deadpool.
Okay, so
Yes.
it's a sweep. Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
But
Well, I feel good
Deadpool's
then.
going up against Superman, 1 seed.
Well, wait, hold on. We doing the whole? Are we
well,
gonna
but you got to
the
do the 1 versus 8.
1 versus 8. That was just to get into the
That
8
was just to
seed.
get into the
other-
tournament.
Is there a plan for the DC 8?
There is, but we're not going to do that right now. We're not going to do
Yeah,
that.
Alright,
he's doing one side of
Yeah.
the bracket, and then he's gonna do the other side.
Correct. Let me run
This
run the
isn't
show,
your
please.
game.
Can you let me run this?
I'm just not liking the way
You're too
doing this.
controlling. You're too controlling. Anyway, all right. So Deadpool's playing Superman.
Yes.
That's pretty much Juggernaut. However, I think Deadpool. I mean, he could get creative on how to
Yeah.
potentially be Superman. But I mean, T-Roll, what do you think?
But it's not about being Superman.
Correct. But
It's about who we like more.
Correct.
So one who has the most enjoyable personality to the most stale personality.
Yes.
correct. Yes.
I mean,
Superman's a very difficult character to bring to the screen. I think he's really hard to deal with. On that front, he's so like pure and so like steadfast in his ways. Although I will say one of my probably my two favorite runs are actually these two characters. Actually, to tell you the truth, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe and Red Sun are probably my two favorite like runs of comics because I love the turning on the head that having him land in the Soviet Union instead of landing in Smallville.
Yeah.
It was really cool, and it
Changes
has
the character up. It
changes the character up, and has one of the coolest twists at the end. I won't spoil it for anyone, but it has a really cool twist at the end in it. And but it's just really hard because he's too like. It's really hard to have a character that's that powerful and that pure, and it makes him really hard for you to be able to connect with that character. You know, because it's like you're not perfect. You know you're not that strong. So like, why do you like? There isn't like anything tangible to grasp onto in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Superman, he's nowhere near my favorite DC hero. That's for sure.
Now,
What about you, T-Roll?
yeah, I mean,
I feel like your opinion's actually going to be pretty good here.
yeah, I mean, it's so funny how swayed I am by the overall just filth of DC movies.
Right.
Because still to this day, I keep thinking of Man of Steel as pretty good movie, and I think of the Superman we had in this generation of Henry Cavill, like perfect Superman.
Great.
Like at least the looks.
Oh yeah,
Let's
for
be-
sure.
let's be
oh
real.
yeah,
Let's be
for
real.
sure.
Let's
That
be
dude,
real.
He's a dude.
So it's like I always just think of Superman as like, one of my more like favorite characters from the DCEU.
Right.
Which is probably how I'm going to vote on most of this tonight because I didn't read the comics for either. I didn't really grow up watching anime, like the animated series and shows and movies. So, yeah. Tell you what, I'll go Superman.
Nice. Okay.
I'm gonna go Deadpool.
Oh, okay. Putting it on me.
That's right.
I am actually going to go. This is a surprise because I really hate Superman with a passion. But I'm going to go with Superman on this
Really?
one. Yeah, I'm voting Superman. And he's going to move on.
Okay.
And
cool.
I might be able to talk about my hatred for him in the next round. We'll see.
Yeah.
You guys really want to get me on this hatred high horse here. Like, it's going to be fantastic.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Okay.
low horse, I
All
should
right,
say.
well, so I'll keep voting for Superman.
No, don't do that.
Deal.
Don't let that
Got
sway
it.
you.
On.
Okay. All right. So we're going to move on now. We got past that one. So we are going to go to the, let's see here, the 4-5 matchup. Okay.
So the 4 is in DC, right?
Yes, the 4 is in DC on this one.
So basically, the top 4 in this side of the bracket are DC, and the bottom 4 are Marvel.
Yes.
But the bottom 4, the 4 that we're getting from Marvel are the bottom 4. So like the better ones are on the other side.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
that's great.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
all right,
yes.
I love it.
Yeah, good. Well, we'll see until you hear the
Yeah,
matchups.
it at least sets up the best chance for the final round to be a Marvel versus DC.
Yeah.
All right.
Theoretically.
Favorite characters here. You ready? The
Yeah.
5 seed. The 5 seed is Captain America.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Right? Captain America.
Was that hard for you to do that? Because I know you love Captain
Yeah,
America.
I do love Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you see the ones above him, you'll see.
It makes sense.
It makes
Okay.
complete
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. The 4 seed, Green Lantern.
All right.
Yeah, Green Lantern.
Can we get
All
a?
right.
I wish
Now,
we
I
could have
debated put a Green Lantern a 3 seed, but I went with 4 seed.
I wish we could have done a Deadpool Green Lantern matchup.
Yeah. Too bad. That ship sailed. So,
been
yeah,
great.
we have Captain America, the super soldier enhanced human.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Versus human gifted abilities from a ring that are extraterrestrial.
I will say, like, it's interesting that you put those two people up against each other because when it comes to their base, the reason they were chosen for what they are is actually very similar, like, ideally. Like, when you think about, like, they, Cap was chosen to, Steve Rogers was chosen because of his, like, morality and, like, his bravery, and then he was given powers. And it's actually very similar for Green Lantern. Like, it is his, like, it's almost like his bravery and his courage.
It's true.
That he gets the Green Lantern ring. So it's actually very interesting seeing those two matched up like that. I do think there's like kind of this idea that you kind of gotta toss away a little bit the Ryan Reynolds version of Green Lantern just because it was just awful. Because there are some really great like adaptations of Green Lantern, like in the
animated world.
In the animated world, like Jon Stewart's phenomenal. Like I really like his character of Green Lantern. Of course, you got Hal Jordan. Pretty awesome. Nathan Fillion, I think, plays him a couple of times in animating his voice.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool there, and it's just like he's a very interesting character. He just.
Something I like the similarities you mentioned already, but also essentially the Green Lantern Corps is like a police force, right?
Yes.
They're the police force, and Captain America essentially he's also a semi-police force, right? He works for a government agency.
Yes.
And
he is a force.
And he is a force. So the question here would be whose willpower is stronger? Because I do feel like they both have willpower that is absolutely insane.
Yes.
Because the Green Lantern ring runs on the power of will.
Yes.
And we've seen Captain America both in the comic books and for movie purposes, literally Endgame. His willpower to be by himself to go up against Thanos' army. Like, how incredible is that? Like that is absolutely lift Thor's hammer.
To wield Thor's hammer.
Yeah, dude. Green Lantern ain't picking up that hammer.
No, sorry.
No.
It's gosh, man. It's a good matchup. It really is.
Yeah, I like it. I'm just messing around.
Yeah. But is Captain America's strength and strategy good enough to overcome the creativity and sheer power of the Green Lantern ring? Because in comic books, Green Lantern's like overpowered, like crazy.
He's pretty overpowered. Yes.
Yeah.
And Cap has super strength, but he's grounded.
Yes.
He doesn't fly.
He's,
I
mean, he still can get hurt. Like he does not.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah. He has a little bit of resistance to things, but not a full.
And like just to be candid, it's with Cap. We've talked about this on our pod before. One of our top three favorite movies is a Cap movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I'm not as high on the first Captain America as a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Like it's enjoyable, but it's not like as high as I know.
So how are you voting
feel.
for your favorite? How are you voting?
Let's see. Can you come back to me on this one? It's really hard.
There you go. Go ahead.
I'll go first. So I am so biased, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Because, again, think about, like, there is no Green Lantern in the DCEU.
Correct.
So recency bias, you're talking about a guy whose last memory was Ryan Reynolds, which, thank God he's in Deadpool now,
Yes.
versus the heart of the MCU, right? Like, it's Iron Man, it's Cap, it's Thor. It's why in the Endgame trailer, like the last Endgame trailer, they start by doing flashbacks of those three guys' origin stories.
Yep.
And they're all just as important, like Iron Man is like, he's the face, but like Cap is just there in all of it as well. And there's one shot I love in that trailer that I think about as you were talking about the first movie. It's from the first Cap where it shows him walking up to like a window where there's a soldier's outfit. And it shows his tiny version before the serum. And it like shows his head doesn't even like eclipse like the collar of the shirt.
Such good imagery.
Yes, great shot. And so it's obvious I'm going with Captain America because of just really the impact he's had in my personal life. Yeah, like he's inspirational. So yeah.
What about you?
Gosh.
Or do you want me to vote?
Did I sell you?
Or do you want to hold back?
This is really really hard.
I love having a fellow DC truther here.
I think I'm gonna go Green Lantern.
Sweet.
Wow.
Sell me.
Okay, so he has a incredible charismatic spark to him. Like I know we did not get a great version of that with Ryan Reynolds, but he's very charismatic. Just the idea of like the idea that the world is you can literally do whatever you want, whatever your mind can figure out, you can make. So like you are the only limitation is your own mind in this situation. With his powers. On top of that, he's super powerful, and he gets to he's like the idea of willpower is such an interesting trait to have because it's all like based off of it's based off of like your own belief in yourself. Like it doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter how like smart you are. Like there's none of that connection to it. It's all about want to. It's everything like growing up in like sports. It's everything that your coach wanted you to do when you wanted to dig down. Like that's kind of how I see Green Lantern. Is like it doesn't matter that you might not be the tallest person, or you might not have like the most power, or you might not have the best eyesight, you might not have the best this that, but if you want it hard enough, you can do it as Green Lantern.
Nice.
I like it.
And I'm going to add some context there too.
Great.
So the great thing is that Captain America, he's one person, right? They tried to duplicate Captain America. We saw U.S. Agent, right? Didn't work out as well, right?
Yeah.
And now the Falcon is technically Captain America, right? But he doesn't have the super soldier, right? So it's different, right?
Yeah.
Well, then there's also Bucky too, right?
Yeah.
Green Lantern, the power of will and the person's character, right? The ring chooses the select few. Okay, so you have to be a certain type of person in order to wield that power.
Yeah.
And they don't just choose anybody, and you'll end up with a Pixar up U.S. agent looking Captain America. Like it's so bad. Dude.
Yeah.
You don't get somebody like that.
Yeah.
Like
The government doesn't choose who.
Correct.
Gets
It
the ring.
kind of it kind of eliminates the infallibility of man.
yeah. And they choose
Or the
mo-
fallibility
they're-
of
the
man.
ring is essentially Mjolnir, and like you have to be.
Yeah, I was
worthy.
thinking that, yeah. Right.
So all of that being said, all right, we're choosing favorites here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going Captain America. Sorry, I
build-up.
love Captain America.
The build up.
I really
But
do.
this is like again for me recency bias. This is another like, man, that is something I actually can't wait to see.
I know, done right.
Done right.
Hopefully,
James Gunn.
we need you. We need you.
It would be awesome if like that was one of the first projects too, because it's like hasn't been represented in a while.
I think it's within the first 4 projects.
That's exciting. Okay.
All right. So
Good matchup there, man.
Yeah,
That was fun.
Captain America moving on. I don't like his chances for the next round, but he's moving on. All right. We are going to go with the next one. Next matchup is the 3-6 matchup.
Okay.
Okay. The 6th seed is
From Marvel.
From Marvel. The 6th seed from Marvel is Iron Man.
Whoa.
Iron
That's shocking
Man.
to hear that.
Iron Man.
The
Well,
six.
when you see who the top
I'm just trying to
people-
think of who they would be right now.
Would you put Iron Man above Captain America?
Yeah. Personally, I would.
That just speaks for who you are, I guess.
Yeah, but again, I'm so biased by the MCU.
Wait till you see the top 3. as
Okay,
far
that's
as
fair. I
everyone.
mean, I know
Okay.
who one of them is.
Yeah.
Na-na-na.
All right. So Iron Man, the 6th seed versus. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this one, Shimano?
I guess.
3 seed. Batman.
Batman is a 3 seed.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm trying to think of. Oh, so I know who number 2 is then.
Batman.
Yeah.
You know who number 2 is?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Can I predict it later?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, Batman versus Iron Man. That's, iconic.
Yeah.
Yes.
The best movie, or like the best movie characters in our generation.
Yeah.
Once again,
correct.
I can see what you're doing here.
Yeah.
Similarities.
Yes.
I didn't do that for all
Yeah.
matchups. So keep that in mind. I didn't do that for all matchups. Yeah.
Because once again, these are very similar, like,
Rich people.
Yeah, they're super rich people, super smart. They use their money.
We could save ourselves a lot of time by just voting, because it's obvious that this is going to be a 2-1 split,
I honestly think so.
and
but
you guys are voting Batman.
I don't know. Shimano might be.
No, I don't. I would be blown away if you voted for Iron Man. But let's go. Let's.
I mean, listen. Okay. Let me start this off. Okay.
Okay. Well, no, dude, you interrupt. We both interrupted him.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
My bad.
I mean, Batman's the top of the mountain. Like,
If I could have put Batman 1 seed, I would have, but I couldn't because I mean,
I'm
I couldn't.
I'm shocked to hear him at 3. The only thing I could think of is that, again, I know how much you guys like who's number 2. So
Yeah. You think number 2?
yeah, I'd be blown away if it was. Yeah, but anyways, wow, Batman and Iron Man. I just think like this is kind of one of those things that would have been great to have later in the bracket somewhere, even the back
You couldn't guarantee it though. You couldn't. Guarantee
No, I
it.
get that,
Yeah.
but I don't need to guarantee it. But
Yeah.
once again, do we need a bad backseat podcaster over here?
I am in an interesting spot being on
Yeah.
this side of things, I will admit.
Yeah.
Sorry for my critical nature. Okay, let's just talk about it then. So, what I love about Tony Stark, at least again in the MCU,
Yeah.
is his total character arc from being the proud, arrogant, douchebag, rich guy.
Yep.
Doesn't give a rip about anything. Doesn't see the consequences of his actions. To Cap says it better than anyone. Like you're not willing to lay down, and there's he said I'd rather cut the wire when he's talking about the bomb or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like
like the big sacrifice. You're not willing to make the big sacrifice.
yeah, and he does it time and time again.
Correct.
Eventually, while battling his demons, and it's just like a guy that like I grew up with in a sense.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So it's like incredibly biased.
I mean, you say incredibly biased, but who was like the first superhero movie you actually were introduced to?
yeah, but he's like the third best character in that movie.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
What movie are you talking about?
Dark Knight.
Oh, okay. Okay, good point.
Yeah. He's not the star.
Right.
Right.
But he's the catalyst on why everything works.
For sure. No,
Yeah.
I get that. Like the stars of that movie are Heath Ledger,
Yes.
and Christopher Nolan,
He's
and then Batman. You know what I'm saying? And then Christian Bale. But
That's great.
I would not like if and when Batman wins this matchup. Like I'm not going to complain about it because I know how iconic he is. He's literally the most popular superhero for I think. Maybe,
for me personally, but honestly, if you actually look up the numbers, he's not.
Probably
Is
like
it Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. But he's got to be number 2.
It's Superman.
Oh, that's so lame.
Then it's Batman. I looked it up before this.
Gosh, I just
Yeah.
don't get the super. Can we?
I do not get the Superman. appeal.
Let's just twist it to make sure we get Batman vs Superman in the semifinal. I just put it to bed.
Well, I think part of it with like Superman is just like the fact that he's so simple and straightforward. And if you're not looking for nuance, then like it's very easy. It's sort of like the reason why the Fast and Furious movies do so well worldwide. Like
true,
in the sense that it's so simple, so straightforward. There's no translate. You don't really need a translation.
Yeah.
Like you know what's happening on screen because of the fact that it's there. You can easily point at what's happening, what's going to happen. In the process.
Okay, I'm gonna vote first because it's obvious where I'm going. I'm voting first, and it's definitely Iron Man. Because again, I'm very biased. But let me just say one thing about Batman that is actually really cool. That this might be news to you guys, or this might surprise you guys to hear me say this, but probably one of the coolest things about Batman that is actually a newer development for me because again, I didn't grow up reading comics. Is in the most recent movie, The Batman with Robert Pattinson. Like, I saw a whole nother side of like the detective side of Batman.
Yeah.
That like they did such a good job. Like I feel like I'm watching Sherlock Holmes to some extent, you know, or Reacher or something. Like it's like they did such a good job in that movie showing me a side of Batman that I had never seen, and I've seen him in so many different places, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I love that you said that because that was honestly the big appeal to. I'm going to speak for Schmotto here for Batman the Animated Series because that was a huge part of that character in the show. Honestly, I mean, you voted Iron Man, but honestly, you are right. I'm going to speak for Schmotto here. We are both voting for Batman.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, we could have saved like 4 minutes.
Correct.
If we just,
yes. Yeah.
But it's okay. It's
Batman.
I mean, he's literally listed as like his tagline's like the world's greatest detective. Like,
yeah. Exactly.
like,
Exactly. It's hard for me. Like he has shaped me in so many ways.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, as we go down the matchups, and we'll see how far he actually goes because you exist, T-Roll. But I'll explain and unravel more why he is so important. But anyway,
The one thing I'm going to say is I understand that Spider-Man's got to be north of 5 and 6, but I'm really curious to see what other Marvel guys are higher than Iron Man because you had Iron Man at 6. I can't wait to see the Marvel side of things because
characters that you
because
that
if
are not part of the MCU.
if I find out that you just did this to get a Iron Man Batman guaranteed matchup, I'm gonna be really upset.
No, there's it's not that. No,
right.
I promise you. When that was the case, when I saw that ended up falling,
It's like a
that way,
sweat move, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, when I saw that ended up fast casual.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I saw it landed that
It's a
way,
deep
I was
cut
like,
right there.
dang, they're gonna say something.
Yeah,
They're gonna say
yeah.
something.
All right.
Anyway, moving
Batman
on.
moves on.
All right,
Fair enough.
The 7-2 seed. All right, the 7 Marvel
So
seed.
who's the 7 seed? And then I'm going to tell you who the 2 seed is.
All right, the 7 seed is Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch. This matchup's honestly bonkers, but
Okay. Scarlet
2
Witch.
seed.
yeah,
2 seed is
Wonder Woman.
100% the Flash.
It is the Flash.
Yeah,
Okay.
without a doubt.
I went with the woman on woman. Like,
It's got to be the Flash.
No. I'm not gonna do that. But I like where your head's at, Shimano. But I mean, you're right. Yes, the Flash. When I was thinking of the DC side, right, 1 through 8, I was trying to think of first, like ability wise.
Yeah.
But then it kind of transitioned to favorite. But I couldn't, rightfully so, put Superman lower than 1. I know, yes, I hate him. I hate Superman with a passion. But I can't. I mean, he's Superman, right? Like, you can't defeat him. Like, he's the favorite. He's the second favorite in the whole entire world, right?
yeah.
So you have to put him.
Was he the first superhero too? Isn't that the story?
Not necessarily. No, he's no.
All right,
That's a debate for itself
Yeah.
on its own. Yeah,
that's
'cause-
fine. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm not trying to
I
get
will
into
say,
that.
like, a large part of the reason why they stopped making the New 52 is because of the Flash.
Yes.
Because he essentially, like, they had wrote him up into the point to where, like, he essentially broke the universe.
He's
to where,
ended up god tier. Like
yes,
yeah.
essentially, like, he ended up being just essentially unstoppable.
The absolute ability that he possesses is insane, and the fact that he ended up falling to play Scarlet Witch kind of sucks because Scarlet Witch is overpowered herself.
Oh yeah,
So-
she is too. Yes.
So for me, this is a tough matchup if you're talking versus wise because I feel like there's a lot of stipulations that you have to come into play here
Yeah,
to make this happen.
It
but-
feels like iceberg matchups, like a sense of like you see this character like it's like the idea of like you see the iceberg, but then there's like there's so much underneath, like there's so much deeper in each one of these characters and their powers because like Scarlet Witch is essentially one of the strongest beings in all of the MCU.
yeah.
From what she can do, her illusions, her family line is
she
very
would crush
strong.
Superman, right? If he's weak to magic.
I mean,
It's
probably
possible.
Probably
Yeah, very
mo-
sure.
mollywop
Yeah.
him, honestly.
You know, she would come in, and if she needed to, she would call her dad in to put a whooping on some people. You know, her brother. You know, there's lots of family superhero connections there that can definitely step in and help her out.
Yeah.
You know, her dad's one of my is my favorite MCU villain. So
Yeah, that's true.
the
Good
one
point.
true idea
Her
of
actual
her,
dad?
Yes.
Not the guy that died in Sokovia.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like this one's obviously also one feels obvious to me. Again, for me, like I Scarlet Witch. I wonder if she would crack my top 8 Marvel heroes. So
Yeah, I mean, she's powerful.
She's
though.
7.
She's super
she's
powerful.
super powerful.
Yeah.
But again, if we're just going off of vibes and how we want to vote, like
Yeah.
favorites, which is how I like to do brackets.
Right.
Because otherwise, the whole discussion of who would win the battle would just take too long. Yeah, I'm going to vote the Flash.
Okay, great. Shimano?
Yeah, I got to go with the Flash.
Yeah, I would vote the Flash too. I love the Flash. I really
Yeah,
do.
he's an amazing character.
All right. So we have now finished one side of the bracket. We are now going
The
to
Marvel side.
Marvel
The
side.
top 4 seeds
T-Roll
are
got a little
Marvel.
pep in his step now.
Well, yeah, except like the 2 best ones have already been mentioned, but all right, let's do it.
All right, I hate you. All right. So, the number 1 or 8 seed that's going to be playing, okay, for DC. All right.
All right.
Playing game.
The play-in game for DC.
I'm excited.
Are you ready for this one? Is going to be Martian Manhunter
All right.
I was about to say it. I knew you were going to say it.
versus
Yeah.
Blue Beetle. Not Black Beetle, T-Roll.
Black Beetle.
Blue Beetle.
Blue. So it is Blue Beetle.
Yes, Blue Beetle.
Is his uncle going to be there?
I mean, if you wanted to be there, if it sells you, sure.
Man, I can't even vote on this one, guys, because,
I mean,
what do I know about Martian Manhunter?
That's true.
I
Good
mean,
point.
they're both aliens, so like,
The Scarab gives the powers to Jaime, or if
Yes.
you want to go Ted Cord, but you know nothing about them.
Martian Manhunter is literally he's a Martian. His world was
Manhunter is kind of a scary last name, if I'm honest. I know that's not his last name, but
anyway, he comes to Earth and he's basically like he tries to kind of blend in, but then ends up, becoming he's very powerful. He has almost similar type of powers to like Vision. Like I would say
very
like
similar powers
like
to Vision. Yeah.
That's helpful.
in that sense. He's like he can kind of phase in and out, sort of like Vision can, and he has super strength and things of that nature. He is essentially like Frankenstein's monster in the sense that he's afraid of fire. Such fire. He's like
His
fire
weakness is
is like
basically fire,
weakness is fire.
Yeah. Blue Beetle's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I mean, Blue Beetle's awesome.
He's pretty cool.
Blue Beetle is really cool.
I'm a very, very, very partial to Jaime Reyes. I don't know why Justin Sandoval
I wonder
would be.
why you would be that way.
Yeah, exactly. Blue Beetle, I think he has abilities similar to, like, I'm going to say it, Green Lantern. Like, he can literally create anything that his mind can think of. I don't know. For me, Martian Manhunter ended up being replaced. And so with that being said, Blue Beetle for me gets the vote.
Yep.
Who's he replaced by?
Another person on this bracket.
Okay, so you'll say that later.
Cyborg.
Are they
I'll just tell you now.
interesting? Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll vote Blue Beetle because I don't know. I literally know so little about Martian Man.
Yep.
He made an interesting cameo for like about 24 seconds.
You're right. Yes.
In the Snyder cut, but
Yeah.
You're right. What about you, Shimano?
I think I'm actually going Martian Manhunter.
Whoa. Okay.
I enjoy him as a character.
Well, I apologize for my vote having so much weight, even though it shouldn't right here.
Yeah.
You guys
No.
should probably just do rock,
Either
paper,
way.
scissors to. It's
Yeah.
almost not fair that I'm voting on
Well, it doesn't matter because the matchup's insane. Okay. So
it. Yeah. Okay. Number one.
Blue Beetle will go up against the number one seed, which is the Incredible Hulk.
yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Now, how did you rank these again? By power or popularity? Because you've already said.
Yeah, listen, we're doing a favorite vote, popularity vote. Superman, I had to keep on there because of power and popularity. But I feel like the Incredible Hulk, based purely on his power, needs to be number one, just because he is a.
I would say though,
impossible.
even popularity, like essentially.
If we're doing popularity, Spider-Man should be the number one seed.
Yeah, but I do think if you're putting them two together, he still should be number one because although Spider-Man's more popular, I mean Hulk is not that far behind in popularity. And when you think about so
he's top. He's top 10 between both companies for sure.
Okay, so when Marvel was selling off its characters, the one that they wanted to protect because they knew that he was one of their most popular characters was Incredible Hulk.
It's true.
It
That's why
hurt
he's
them
still
really
tied
hard.
Up. He's still tied up to Universal.
Yes.
The Marvel MCU does not own him still.
Yeah. So, like Spider-Man, they sold because he was their most popular character, but like Hulk was a secondary one. Now because of the MCU, it has become. I will admit, it's become more muddled.
Yeah.
And
well, let me
because
also
of that.
help you here, Shimano, with your argument because T-Roll's over here making like a nasty face. But one of the first TV shows ever in like the 70s and late 70s, 80s was The Incredible Hulk. So I mean, we got Lou Ferrigno, Spider-Man. I mean, yeah, Japan was doing Spider-Man early, like in like the 70s as well, right?
weird stuff.
Weird stuff with Spider-Man, but
Weirder than what we saw on Madam Web. From Peru.
yeah. They actually, yes, for sure.
Oh, yeah,
we
real
can show you
weird
some
stuff.
clips, and it's nutty. But yes, so yeah. That being said, like that's the Hulk is. Anyway, power.
My tongue is almost bitten in half because I'm biting it so hard.
Just let it out, man. Let it out.
I just feel
The
like
consistency. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, I
Yeah.
just feel like you went back and forth between I'm going to rank these how I want to versus what I think they should be versus let's get certain matchups the way they should be.
I promise you. Well, why would I want Blue Beetle or Martian Manhunter versus Hulk?
I just don't know, man. Like
I
I
don't
just
want
feel like for you to say Superman is obviously number one, you would also have to say that about Spider-Man.
I mean, yes, but I also factored in power with Superman. Like I also factored it in too. Like both of them are two unstoppable forces, and so
yeah,
I
they're physical forces
Right,
for
correct.
sure. But if
Well, a part of me wanted to just do like verses initially, but then I was like, if favorite is the way to go. But if you think about favorite, I mean, the Hulk's up there. The Hulk is up there. But if you add Hulk's popularity, whether he's like 4th, 5th, or 6th in the world, right? With his power, I feel like it gets him up there to number 1.
I'd say like when it comes down to it, like power wise, Hulk is like a 10.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man's like a 7. And I would say popularity wise, Spider-Man's like a 10, and Hulk is probably like an 8. Like it is tight. So I understand him being number 1. Now, you have this very skewed basis of the way that the MCU has laid out the world.
But it's not even that. Like, this man had Batman at 3. Like, I just feel like I'm struggling with your rankings here, man. Not gonna lie.
Honestly, the Flash is it's hard to beat, man.
All right, let's just vote. Come on. So who is this? Martian Manhunter versus Hulk?
Blue Beetle versus
Blue Beetle.
It's Hulk.
Great.
Yeah,
So Hulk wins.
All right,
Hulk.
moving on. Moving on.
All right.
Hulk hands, one of the most popular toys ever.
For sure.
It is, actually. You're right. All right. Next matchup is the 4-5 matchup.
Yeah.
Okay, the
So
5
who's-
seed.
5 from DC.
5 is DC, and it is Wonder Woman.
Look at
Look
you.
at you go. Look at you
Freaking
go.
knew it, dude.
And the 4 seed in Marvel is
Spider-Man, based off the way this is going.
shut up. Thor.
Okay.
Thor is the number 4 seed.
Oh, that's fun. Thor versus Wonder Woman. So would he first try to win her over romantically?
I don't see why not, man.
He probably would.
Although, I mean, if she fell for Steve Trevor, then she would probably fall for
another Chris.
For Thor. Yeah, that's.
Ah.
But power-wise, they're very complementary to each other as far as power goes.
Storyline wise, even kind of a little bit.
Yeah,
godlike
abilities.
Yeah, it's a good point.
They're both physically like peak top tier, like physically.
Yeah.
I mean, strength, fly, power. Like, honestly, this is a coin flip, man. I mean, she's got the gauntlets, the lasso, the shield, and the sword, and he's got a hammer / axe.
Yeah.
Like,
That's right.
they both use weapons.
Yeah.
And a couple guns.
Yay, let's go.
And he has
Let's
his
go.
like
Flex, by the way.
he
for
can bring
everyone
on
not watching.
Attempted
Yeah.
to flex. Anyway,
he can bring on lightning, when he needs to.
Yeah.
And they both have like this arrogance to themselves a little bit.
she also has an invisible jet. Like, that doesn't get talked about enough.
She doesn't get. I mean,
Just because.
you get one or the other.
Just
you,
because.
you either get flight or you get the invisible jet. Like, because
Dude, I hope Gunn does that,
They
man.
phased out the invisible jet for her ability to fly.
Yeah.
So you get one or the other.
There
Good
you go.
call.
It's just
Good call.
That's wild. Yeah, I mean,
This is fun.
honestly, this might be a coin flip for me. But as far as favorite, I have my reasons for growing up as a young boy on why I really liked Wonder Woman.
Tell us more about that.
Wonder Woman had a lot of appeal to her. Thor didn't really take
When you
over.
said growing up, you're talking about the movie that came out in 2017.
2017, I mean, and the comics for me. Like
Yeah,
I was a huge DC comic reader, and she has a lot of appeal in the comic books. But Chris Hemsworth did something with Thor that I didn't think that was possible. Like,
Well, that's what it was like for all these Marvel characters.
True,
Captain America
true,
and
yeah.
Iron Man, right? Like
their actors helped
Adds
them.
so much charisma
Yeah.
and likability to them.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I honestly was not a Thor fan before the movies, but then the movies happened, and I became a Thor fan. But so with that, actually, I'm gonna lead the vote here with Wonder Woman.
Cool. All right, well, I'll vote Thor because it's
I just want to point out I voted for
silly.
a woman.
Yeah.
That's all.
I probably won't vote for a single woman this whole podcast. And if you have a problem with that, you can email us.
Don't worry, they're all done. You already
Yeah,
you
you've
already
heard there's only
proven-
two
you
in the
already-
whole
already
bracket.
sealed
You
their
right?
already
fate.
proven. You already sealed their fate.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
you're true to your word. Anyway, Shimano.
I'm going with Thor.
Woo! All right, Thor. Oh man, that's a great second round matchup. Anyway,
My inspiration is all about voting against women.
we as the world.
I hope
podcast
everyone can
do
pick up.
not-
I hope
yeah.
that everyone can pick up on the sarcasm.
we do not condone.
Please, got to clarify things these days.
Yeah. All right. We've made it to the 6-3 matchup. Are you ready for this one? The 6 seed.
But you know.
6 seed DC Aquaman.
Oof.
Forgot about Aquaman. I genuinely forgot about Aquaman.
Well, that
I'm
already-
not even lying to you right now.
Yeah, well, that shows me how your vote's going to go. here in a
Shows.
minute.
Yeah.
The
All right.
number
So hold on.
3
Now
seed.
I want to guess.
Yeah, go ahead. Because you know who's.
So Spider-Man's got to be 2. No, although you put Batman 3, so Spider-Man.
I got a
could be
guess
3.
as well. So you take your guess, and then I'll take my
So
guess.
Spider-Man is still going to be mentioned, at least. Can you give me that?
He'll be on this podcast.
Okay, thank
yes.
you. Dear God. I mean, the total DC move thing to do. Okay, so there's no Spider-Man.
Stack the deck.
Oh, dude, it's Wolverine.
What was your guess?
I was gonna say
It's Wolverine, right?
It is 100%
Okay,
Wolverine. Yeah.
jeez, dude, I was going to flip out,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I was about to lose my freaking ish.
It is Wolverine. It is.
There's
Wolverine.
like a pause there, and I
yeah.
actually got a little worried.
Yeah, it is Wolverine.
Okay.
And honestly, popularity and strength played a factor in here in this decision. Even though you hate me for the way I rank my stuff. Anyway, Wolverine versus Aquaman.
Yeah.
Surface level that you're like, oh yeah, Wolverine walks, right? Like, I mean, that's what you're thinking probably. But if you think about it, Aquaman has had kind of like a quote unquote rebirth.
Yes.
Shamato understands that reference. T-Roll does not. He has become more powerful.
Yes.
As the years have gone on. All right. He has way more abilities as far as like water control and the ability. Like, I mean, the big thing in the past was, oh yeah, he can talk to fish. Well, that's basically like a puppet show at this point.
Yes.
At this point, his comic book career and movie career. But Wolverine is Wolverine. He's still a force, literally X-Force.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
it's tough.
I will say, like, one of the coolest like ideas was in Justice League War when it was Aquaman up against Wonder Woman, and they were like, "Oh, Aquaman led a tidal wave against London and he killed 42 million people."
42 million.
Like some like insane number like that. Like it was insane. Like the numbers of like this war that was going on between the Atlanteans and the Amazonians at this point. And it was just like he is incredibly powerful. Starting with like the New 52, they really were trying to build him up out of this like character that was like he was the butt of the joke. He was always like the
fish
like,
man of the joke.
Yeah, he was the fish man. He was the dude he could talk to. He could talk like you get him out of water and it's like what can he actually do?
Yeah,
but he's actually very strong. He's played by Reacher in the show Smallville.
Well, how about
that? And there's some really cool storylines that go along with him.
Yeah.
In the New 52 lineup. So.
Yeah. How much did Jason Momoa like save the reputation? Or was it
a lot? Actually,
Yeah.
He's like tenfold. Actually,
yeah. Because like I always experienced Jason Momoa's performances as like refreshing in an otherwise bad universe.
Correct. Yes.
You know.
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny you say that because like Jason Momoa is a super likable actor.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman, way more likable, but
Yeah.
still on that same.
I mean, it's a
page.
no-brainer on the vote.
I mean, it's a no-brainer for me too.
I mean, Logan is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cried. Like
So
a
we're all
baby.
voting Wolverine.
I actually
Clean
can't
sweep.
watch Logan because I get too emotional.
Yeah, I agree with
And
you.
that's with me knowing he's about to show up in a movie in a few months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all voting
know?
Wolverine. That's a sweep.
But I think even when Logan came out, it was like, at that point, I wasn't sure if I really thought this is it.
Yeah, correct.
Oh,
it was
gosh,
a
I
swan
can't talk
song
about it right now.
All right, Wolverine moving
So
on.
who's Spider-Man beating? in this next one?
7 seed.
Yeah.
Cyborg.
Oh yeah. Okay. Great.
All right.
Cyborg took over Martian Manhunter. He can control every technology in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
But Spider-Man's way cooler. So I'm voting Spider-Man.
It feels like we're not. Yeah, it's not fair to Cyborg how quickly we're voting here. But
It is interesting. Like once again,
I love his
these
character
are
in the animated series.
These are
by
the
way.
only two. These are the only two teenagers like that you really get to see.
true.
That are set up in this world because Cyborg was like a senior in high school when he got out when he was had his accident, and of course Spider-Man was in high school when he originally got his powers as well, and that's where most of
is
his
he
stories.
in Gotham? Is Cyborg in Gotham?
No.
No, he's not.
He's
No.
not.
I can't remember what
He
city.
is,
Is
he
it
is in
Capital
the
City?
DC. I don't remember off the top of my head. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what city it is.
Yeah.
But yes, he is. He has his own city and everything like that. But yeah, he's definitely an interesting character, and even like going to like even Teen Titans, like he's
for sure.
He was good in Teen Titans.
He's great.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about
yeah.
talking about Spider-Man.
I mean,
so,
yeah, it's Spider-Man.
yeah,
It's you got to go with Spider-Man in this situation. He's such
yeah.
he was the original like teenage superhero. Like he
Correct.
was he encapsulated the youth experience more than any other person at the time.
And I'm going to throw this out there, too. It doesn't matter who's under the mask, whether it's Peter Parker, Miles Morales, or Ben Reilly. It doesn't matter. They're all captivating. Like, every single... Or freaking Gwen Stacy. It doesn't even matter.
Yes.
It matters not. The character
Peter Porker.
Yes, exactly. You're right. It doesn't matter who is under the mask. They are all intriguing and all have uniqueness to them that drives stories.
There's a reason that Sony keeps putting out bad movies to milk the Spider-Man universe.
Yep.
It's
People show up.
Because people, they know, oh, wait, this part of the Spider-Man stuff? It's,
Yeah.
Right.
And when you think of superheroes, you think of Spider-Man, think of Batman, think of Superman, typically, right?
Correct.
So, yeah, Spider-Man definitely is winning this one. I'll vote for both of you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Is
Appreciate
that
you.
okay?
All right, round 2. We're going to have to go speed mode here.
I love
You
it.
ready?
It's great.
All right, the next matchup.
We've already done most of the talking on the
Yes,
characters.
we
so.
did. We did a lot of matchups talking. All right, so the next matchup is both have the exact same moral center. Okay, we have Captain America versus Superman.
Ooh.
We have literally America's icons.
Yes.
Okay, we're going off against each
Wearing
other.
red, white, and blue.
Both wearing red, white, and blue.
Both super strong.
Yes.
One's really super strong.
Yes.
And the downside to both of the characters very similar. Like they can both be kind of vanilla sometimes.
Yes, correct.
You know?
Yes. Truth, justice, and the American way can define both of these characters.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. I mean, Superman, he came from another world and he found a new home, and he now fights that home. Captain America is from this home and he fights to keep it his home. Like,
That's right.
That's I mean,
Damn right.
great story, man. It's a fantastic story. Yeah, a red-blooded American, and then versus a foreigner. So, legal immigrant.
It's from Brooklyn, bro.
So
I mean, what's more American than middle America?
true. Yeah, he did get adopted into the middle America.
Kansas.
Middle America. Tough. I mean, this is tough. It really is because favoritism-wise, I feel like they're both up there as far as, especially now with Chris Evans and all he's did for the MCU. Like, Captain America's popularity has grown exponentially over the years, and
Like if you did this 15 years ago, you'd laugh at it.
you laugh. You would 100% laugh at this. Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's really interesting the fact that Superman, I feel like he's gone down over the years.
Yeah.
As Captain America has risen, Superman has gone down. In my opinion, at least. I feel like I'm speaking for the rest of the
one like potential negative for like Superman and all this is kind of the idea of the way that he perceives humanity. Is it how he perceives it? Like he perceives humanity as Clark Kent, as weak and unable to protect himself, and like that is his persona. He is trying to fit in as Clark Kent, as this character. So that's how he sees humanity. That's how he sees the general man, is that he has to be someone who is weak and, weak, not just weak physically, but weak-willed, weak-mannered. He basically just lets everybody push him around, you know?
Yeah.
But Captain America, on the flip side of that, he fights for the weak. And, like, he was the weak. Like, he puts himself in those shoes, and he makes it a point to protect them, like because he was them, like that kind of thing.
They'd be a dynamic duo. I'll say that.
Oh, for sure.
They would be best friends.
The big question is, would Captain America like morally use kryptonite against Superman if they actually fought? Like,
only if Superman's a threat to the world.
Yeah.
I think he would find out a way to he would make sure that
we don't trade lives.
Whatever he used on him was strong enough to weaken him so that he could get control of him, but not strong enough to permanently hurt him. I think he would find that line to where he was morally comfortable with what he was doing, because I think he's perfectly fine with like incapacitating people.
Correct,
but I don't think he would do that to someone who he probably saw as a hero as well.
So here's the thing. I feel like the people who really love Superman are older and don't listen to this podcast. So I'm not going to upset anybody when I vote for Captain America.
Okay.
So
All
that's
right.
what I'll do.
That's your vote.
Yep.
Shamato.
I'm going to go Captain America.
Obviously, I'm voting Captain America. I freaking hate Superman. You suck. Take that, Superman.
That's awesome. Yeah. But
All
again,
right.
it is funny to think about again if you did this 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
we would be laughed.
Yeah.
We would be laughed at.
Yeah.
All right, next matchup in the
Make
second
better
round.
content, DC.
Next matchup is the Flash
Yep.
versus Superman.
No.
Oh no, sorry, Batman. My bad.
Okay.
Sorry. The Flash versus Batman. My bad. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
First off, this matchup has already been done, and Batman won. So,
on our podcast?
no, not in our podcast.
Oh.
Just in the animated series. Like animated
Who
series.
cares about that? We're talking about our podcast right now.
Yeah.
As far as versus wise, here's the biggest thing.
Like who would win?
Yes,
And it's definitely the Flash.
No, it was not the Flash.
Yeah.
You think so?
No, I
Okay,
don't.
okay,
I'm just
okay.
making a comment that everything about
About my rankings suck.
No, it
Thank
has
you.
nothing to do with your rankings. Just Superman is probably the most unrealistic characters of all the characters, in my opinion, which is funny.
True.
But it's okay.
I mean, Batman has contingency plans for every single superhero
Yes,
in the
he
Justice
does.
League, and he has executed that. We've seen it play out in
Was it-
Medium.
Yo, was it
For him.
Doom?
Yeah, it was Doom.
Yep.
Yeah, he literally strapped a bomb to the Flash.
He did a speed on him.
Yeah,
Like he was like it was
if you
the
slow
movie
down,
speed?
if you slow down, this will blow up.
That's
Yes.
And he had to keep running, and then he was losing energy, and
You gotta eat a lot of food.
he had to eat a lot, and he could not keep up with it, and he eventually had to stop running and just blew up.
So Batman killed someone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. The
Shame.
world that was there is it was needed. It was needed. So I mean, I'm going with Batman. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I get it.
Yeah.
But Amato's not. It's his favorite superhero, the Flash.
I mean, no, I already said who my favorite superhero is.
It's not the Flash.
It's Batman, dude.
It's Batman.
Oh, I could, dude. I swear I've
Number two
You've
is Flash,
said
right?
that you,
Number 2 is Flash.
Okay.
Wow,
I
that's
could've
why it's so
sworn-
hard. It's like it is a very close one. I'm gonna go with Batman, but it's like Batman and the Flash are like neck and neck.
Oh,
for
dude, I
me.
could've-
Like,
I
I
could've
think what
sworn.
happened is we had a draft, and I ended up getting Flash, and some like Batman was taken off the board, and I took Flash with my first pick.
And like you wear a lot of Flash shirts. I just feel
Yes.
like
Yeah, he does. He does.
oh, I love the Flash.
Yeah.
So like he
Yeah.
is.
Who'd you vote for?
Oh, I was going the Flash, dude. I'm just kidding. I was gonna take Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Next matchup here.
Oh, this is great.
We have Hulk versus Thor.
Oh, we're switching over. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the other side now.
Hulk versus Thor, which we've
It's a
seen
friend from
fight.
work.
We've seen
Yeah,
it
so
yeah.
many times.
Yes.
We've seen it so many
That's
times.
funny.
Absolutely, man. We've seen it animated. We've seen it live action. If you want to go ahead and talk about versus, I mean, it's
There's a Hulk
toss-up.
versus Thor. Yeah.
It's tough, but as far as favorite to each of us, I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough, man. It really is.
Yeah.
They've both increased. The MCU increased their value.
And
Their
dude,
stock
and
has gone
guys, just the whole movie of Ragnarok is
Correct.
these two.
It
Yes.
is. It is.
It's
And
yeah.
I mean, both of them shine in that movie. They
Yeah,
both
yes,
shine.
absolutely.
I mean, Cork steals the show, but all of them shine in that
Yes.
movie.
Everybody shines in that movie.
Yes, correct. Gosh, man, this is tough. This is tough for me. But I mean, if I had to put you on the spot now, T-Roll, like who are you voting for?
Thor. If I had to just say something, real
something?
quickly,
Okay.
but I mean, it is tough, genuinely.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, I guess I'll stick with Thor because
Okay.
I went with my first instinct.
Yeah.
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 I'm actually like, one of my favorite like runs of the series is actually like I like Thor more than I think most people like, especially his like the first Thor I enjoyed more than I think a lot of people did. I think a lot of people think it was like middling. I kind of like in my mind flipped Thor and like Captain America in my mind. I feel like the first one. I feel like it's Thor is a little. I like that one more. I guess just like the world they build and stuff is really like I like that idea. Whereas I think Captain America's a little bit there. So I'm gonna go with Thor as well.
Okay, well, Thor's moving on. I would have voted the Hulk because I had a lot of anger issues growing up, and he was a very relatable character. So, there you go. Anyway, moving
I
on.
do love the Hulk for
Yeah.
sure, but
Moving on, next round. We have. Oh, okay. So we have Wolverine versus Spider-Man. This is Also a fantastic
Now we're
matchup.
talking.
Yes.
This is
Now we are
This is
talking.
absolutely incredible matchup.
Because these are both guys who, as an MCU lover, which we did get Spider-Man eventually, but it took years.
Yeah.
And we are eventually getting Wolverine in a few months.
Yep.
But it took even longer.
yeah.
Yes.
These were both when I used to think of like the names of characters I wanted in the MCU in the olden days, right? It was like these were the guys. I wanted Spider-Man, I wanted Wolverine.
Yep. Correct.
Yeah, I wanted Magneto as well. But, it was like those were hero-wise, those were the guys that
Yeah.
you wanted to see,
Hugh Jackman made Wolverine iconic. He did because he's an incredible human being. Like
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman is incredible.
Is
He was the one thread of the X-Men movie. Like,
Yeah.
the X-Men movies. He
Yeah.
kept, like, it all together,
He
essentially.
did. He was and even in the animated series, like Wolverine is a very pivotal character.
Yes.
Which
Yeah, okay.
T-Roll you will find out
Can't wait. I'm
next
excited.
week when
Yeah.
we get to watch the
X-Men
animated-
97,
Yeah,
right?
97.
yeah.
Although I feel like, although he's pivotal, he's not necessarily, like, the focal point.
He's not. No,
No.
he's not. But he's had some great storylines.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's the driving force for a lot of the mutants. I mean, like he is that first captured like mutant that has been experimented on, who has been augmented, and then now has changed the mind of the government agencies to weaponize mutants. He was the driving catalyst for
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's tough, man, because
Just seeing those freaking those claws come out, man.
Yeah.
is so iconic.
I mean, coolness wise, I mean, the claws are awesome. But Spider-Man has a lot.
dude, I know
has-
they're
he has
both
a lot
really
going for
cool.
him.
They're
Man. He
both
really does.
really cool, man.
I think for me, all right.
Okay.
I mean, Spider-Man, he's a teenager, right? He could be any of us, right? He kind of gave me more hope and relatability as far as like growing up. I was like, I could be Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man
Yeah.
is awesome, right? But I don't know if I ever could be Wolverine. Like that's the thing. Like if you're voting here, like could you visualize yourself like being Wolverine or more?
I
Spider-Man?
would
Or
think I could be
would
either,
you
but
want? Okay, the bigger question is like, would you want to actually be Wolverine?
the more you learn,
Like,
I mean, the more you learn about him, I mean,
Like,
it's tough.
It's
tough.
hard.
It's
Like
hard. It's hard.
The idea of it like coming through your skin every single time. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, Spider-Man. I mean, high school kid,
life of secrecy.
Yeah, life of secrecy. I mean, you're still doing your schoolwork, but yet you're saving the day. That
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Everyone misunderstands.
I don't
you.
know. This is a tough vote for me, but I mean, I'm willing to see. Like, Shimano, you have an answer now, or do I need to come back to you?
I think I'm gonna go Wolverine.
Okay, all right. T-roll.
Jeez. Well, I feel like I'm taking all the thunder going next because
Do you think you're gonna go Wolverine?
Wolverine's my favorite character.
Hey.
Yeah, so-
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going Wolverine.
I was gonna go with Wolverine.
Wow.
Ooh.
So what's interesting, we should at least say, again, everyone who's listening and throwing like things right now, or like you're driving and you're about to turn this podcast off, don't turn it off.
Don't.
Let me tell you, we vote based off of who we like,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
We all really like Wolverine. Doesn't mean we don't like Spider-Man. We
Yeah.
love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
In fact, Spider-Man, the character, has been a part of better movie projects than Wolverine.
Correct.
Overall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're taking
Facts.
you know,
Yes. If you total good movies, and look, Spider-Man's been a part of some bad ones too.
Yes.
But overall,
I think overall, yes. If you were to take the collective like amount of Spider-Man's works and put up against the collective amount of
Yeah.
Wolverine's, Spider-Man's got the edge. But like his top like 3, Wolverine might have them.
no, for
Like,
sure. Here's the thing: if you're really upset right now that we picked Wolverine, just know all three of us. I imagine I'm speaking for you guys. We just comes down to the fact that we've got man crushes on Hugh Jackman. So.
Yeah.
I mean, who
yeah.
doesn't?
I mean, if The Greatest Showman didn't exist, then I wouldn't vote for Wolverine. But it does. So
There you go. I haven't seen that, and I'm still voting for Wolverine.
There you
That
go.
tells you how
There
much
you
I
go.
like Wolverine. So
I mean, yeah.
when we watched
it even
Endgame,
extends
do you
to
guys
like
remember?
It even extends to my love of Dune too, like even outside of the world because of
Yeah.
Rebecca Ferguson and The Greatest
Showman.
Showman. She gets under my skin.
yeah.
So when we went to watch Endgame together, and everyone's got all these theories of what might happen, and of course the outlandish ones were that like
Wolverine.
Wolverine will show up, right?
Yeah.
Of course it didn't, but I remember telling you guys we were sitting in the back row, and I was like, if Wolverine freaking shows up, I'm taking my shirt off in the movie theater.
You did say that, yes. You did.
Obviously, I didn't take it off, but
Nope. Unfortunately.
but in a few months, we're gonna watch.
Hey, are you going to do it anyway?
Nah, dude, because
No.
it's expected.
Okay.
Maybe if it wasn't expected, but obviously it got leaked. And
All
they
right.
changed the
All right.
title.
Let's move this on. We are
So tell us the
long-winded
semifinal.
here. This is it. Final four.
To who's in the final four across the board?
Captain America,
Yep.
Batman,
Okay.
Thor,
All right.
and Wolverine.
So are you a little shocked?
I'm super surprised that Thor made it this far.
I'm shocked too. to be
Like-
honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Well, because if you would have put Thor, if you would have swapped Thor and Iron Man, it'd be different. I promise. But it's okay. Like Thor would have lost earlier, and Iron Man would still be there. But it's okay.
Yeah. Although it would have been nice to see Wolverine versus the Hulk in a because they
would be
face
great.
off
That would
each
be
other.
great. Yeah,
they
And one of the
faced off
coolest
new-
ideas is
I already know
what
what
he
you're gonna
does to what Hulk does to Wolverine.
Yeah. I already know what you're gonna say.
Yes.
Splitting him in half and throwing his body,
Yes.
his legs on a mountain, and Wolverine has to literally, his upper body has to crawl to his legs.
That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
All right.
So-
Are you surprised though that it's a 3-1 split?
As far as Marvel versus DC,
Yeah.
not surprised at all.
No. Interesting.
not surprised at all.
You know, you guys are two DC guys.
DC is powerful. That's
Yeah.
the thing. They're not likable. Like I don't know. They're not. They're
That's
not.
the best line of this podcast right there. That's amazing.
Tell me I'm wrong, Shmato. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, it is sometimes hard to like some of the DC characters.
yeah. I mean, they can't do.
That's actually
They
really
can't
good.
movie wise. They can't do Green Lantern right.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman has all she has going for her is like honestly the sex appeal. That's the only thing. I mean, she's a great character, but they don't pull the onion layers back to get to that character.
They want you to see hot woman.
yes,
is what
that's
the
it.
movie
And so
studio
essentially
does.
the
yeah.
DC
Hollywood
has done a
screws
poor
it up.
job.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They screw that up. Hollywood screws
Yeah.
it up because she's such a wonderful character, so fleshed out. But then we don't get to that. I know that. I mean, the Flash, he's hard to do. His powers are hard to translate. They're super hard. I mean, you get these babies, and so bad, so bad. And Martian Manhunter, unrealistic, unrelatable. I mean, it's Aquaman. We already know that. We already know how that has been accepted.
You've already seen how hard it is for people that for things that aren't named Avatar or Black Panther to do underwater scenes.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So yeah, I'm not surprised. Batman is across the board the most relatable hero. He's the coolest hero, and honestly, his story is like gripping. Like you really are invested in the story, no matter how many times we've seen his origin story play out.
Him
in
and
the movie.
Spider-Man have that kind of like,
Correct.
all right, we
yes.
get it.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
But you're there for it.
Yeah.
You're there for it.
No,
So
you're right.
anyway, I'm not surprised because Marvel went in a completely different direction. They did not go power with their
went
heroes.
likability.
They went likability.
Yeah, charisma.
Relatability. Each superhero in Marvel kind of is an attribute to the human race. Like they're an attribute of whether
because-
it's like mind, soul, heart.
Yeah.
Like you can literally like place them.
Like there's this like line that's kind of thrown out when people are talking about DC and Marvel, and it is DC they're gods who want to be humans, and Marvel is humans who want to be gods.
Yes, thank you.
Wow, that's good.
I've heard that numerous times. Shimano.
I don't think I've ever heard that, but I like that.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
Yeah, that's why, like for example, the James Gunn named the first phase of the DCU, the new DCU, Gods and Monsters, because
Gods and Monsters,
that's basically. I mean,
I'm excited, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I
actually
know.
really
Yeah.
excited
Yes,
for this because
yes.
it's new stuff for me.
correct. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
The only reason I asked you were surprised because the only reason I was surprised is that this is a DC swayed podcast
because it's 2 versus
right,
1 here.
like ultimately, but the MCU has also had a great impact on you guys too.
Oh,
so-
100%.
Oh, yeah,
100%.
yeah.
I mean, for the longest time, I was like, Batman movies are fantastic, minus the Schumacher.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Schumacher,
Let me
but-
ask you this. Just for fun, real quick.
Here we go.
Imagine I was the bracket master, and it was Captain America versus the Flash, not Superman. Go right now. Answer.
Flash.
See, so right there, if Superman wasn't ranked 1 out of pity, you might have a 2-2 split here. That's all I'm saying. But let's move on.
We need another member to be on this debate just to show you.
But you see how quickly it can change.
Correct.
Yes.
That's all we need is two ties all the way across. 4 people on a.
Hey, listen, Sweat's Marvel heavy, so it would have been interesting to have him on here too.
Yeah,
like,
there's plenty of people who listen who love DC way more, and they probably already turned the podcast off, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully not because
because they know Batman's still involved. So
they
still
know
here.
Batman's about to win this thing.
Not necessarily. We'll see. All right, so Captain America versus Batman.
Yeah, geez.
These two. I mean, I feel like they're on the same coin. They're the same coin. All right, like different sides though.
They won't kill anybody.
They won't kill anybody. Yeah, they won't kill anybody.
Well, they don't want to.
They don't want to. They both want to see justice done, right?
Yes.
They both want to see justice done. Captain America feels like he is protecting those who are weak. Batman he's not necessarily he's protecting them out of the fact that
punishing
he wants
those
vengeance.
who are
like,
he more punishes those who are evil and a side effect
for preying on the weak.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's more about that punishment side, whereas Cap is more like I need to make sure the people that are weak are being protected.
Yeah, correct.
Can I ask you a fun question?
Of course.
I want both of you to answer this. Which one would you rather have a beer with?
I mean, Batman for sure.
I mean, okay, so when you're thinking about this,
here we go.
It would be pretty boring to have a beer with Captain America since he metabolizes alcohol to the point where he can't get drunk.
Correct.
Well, but yeah, it depends on how you view alcohol, though. If it's about the conversation while you're having a drink.
Yeah. Honestly, it's Batman. It's for sure. Like
there is like an interesting idea of like the two of them, though. It's almost like they should have flipped backgrounds because it's like Captain America has this like polished like outlook on life, this morality to him of someone who has been given everything in life, but he hasn't. Whereas Batman has been given everything in life, but he doesn't have he has the more grittiness to him. So it's an interesting idea in that they're kind of almost flipped.
Here is why I am choosing Batman. Okay. You've mentioned the detective in him, right?
Yeah.
There is a storyline in the Batman the Animated Series where he goes undercover as a homeless man. All right. Shimano, do you remember the storyline?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. He goes undercover as a storyline to uncover the whatever scheme the villain is doing at the time, right?
Yeah.
But he puts himself out there. He is willing to go to the lowest of lows, right? He's willing to do that extra that it takes to get the job done. Captain America, I feel like, has a line. I feel like he has a line that he's not willing to cross. Yeah, I think he will dress up as a homeless man. I mean, we saw Nomad, which, I mean, his beard was definitely, I mean, it's beautiful, but on the verge of, like, homeless man, right? But Batman is willing to do what he has to for the good of the job, or into getting it done.
Even killing?
Batman has been pushed to the brink in the comics at one point to kill.
Which one's more likely to get their hands dirty and kill?
Batman.
Oh, yeah, Batman.
Batman, for sure.
It doesn't feel that way, and I feel like, maybe I'm just wrong, but I feel like Cap in the MCU has killed a lot of people. Like, maybe not. Maybe it's not his desire to, but they did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They did. Yeah. I mean, the Captain America. If you're taking the MCU as your holy grail, right?
Which I do.
Which you should. He is supposed to be the embodiment of good.
Yeah.
Like he is full good, right? Batman is. I mean, is he chaotic good? Right? Like that's what he is essentially.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like more gets done with chaotic good than good. In my opinion.
Yeah. I would say Cap is like lawful good. That's what you're like.
Go. Yeah, there you
on
go,
their D&D realm. Like it's
D&D.
lawful good. It is.
I mean, all that being said, I'm voting Batman.
Yeah.
T-roll.
You want what? You want to know who I'm voting for?
Yeah, I want to know who you're voting for.
Between Batman and Captain America.
Who are you voting for?
I hope you don't hate me for saying this.
I don't.
Okay. I'm voting for Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. I'm voting for Batman.
Yep.
Let's be real.
Yep.
I mean, I do love Cap, but there's a line where it's like,
Yeah.
let's just be honest.
Yeah, come on.
Seriously, I mean, I do. Again, I love Captain America, but Batman has also had a massive impact on my. I mean, that's where a lot of that is where the superhero. I mean, that's not true. I mean, I was definitely into like Wolverine and X-Men.
Yeah.
Watching bad movies before you finally showed me what a good one was.
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
I'm here for
The
you.
Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, X2 is considered one of the best,
I just do very little. Like
comic book adaptations. You know.
You are to me with superheroes what I am to all my friends with soccer.
Yeah.
Showing them the ways. But yeah, no, I got to vote Batman. So, and I'm going to assume that Amato over here
Yes,
is
for
also
sure.
voting Batman. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So, moving on to the next matchup is Thor versus Wolverine.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is a fantastic matchup too because they have gone up against each other in the animated world as well. So T-Roll, what are your thoughts here about
Thor and Wolverine?
Because Wolverine's your favorite.
So both, in my mind, both of these characters are swayed by the performances over long stretches of time from
Correct.
Chris
Yeah.
Hemsworth and Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
And it's actually kind of tough because like Ragnarok's like my favorite movie.
Correct. Yeah.
But
Logan's
Hugh
up
Jackman
there for you, right?
Huh?
Logan's up there for you, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. But my wanting to run away from pain would make me usually watch Ragnarok more than Logan.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great point.
But I mean, Logan. Yeah, man, I'm getting emotional thinking about it now. It's just like, they did such a good job with that movie. But Hugh Jackman literally sells the character so well, and that's why I don't know what Wolverine we're getting in this upcoming movie.
Yeah.
Where in his story and timeline he's wearing yellow, which makes me think it's not what we have experienced.
Different timeline. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I think that's the most fascinating part of this is like the actors I think transform the way, just like Chris Evans did.
Yeah.
Transform the way we think about the characters. So I'm not sure where I'm voting yet. I mean, I'm leaning Wolverine.
Yeah.
To be honest, but yeah.
I think for me, Thor he's borderline Superman as far as like relatability goes. However, as far as strength, power, and everything that comes with that, right? Where he gains relatability is his struggle with his relationship with his father.
Yeah.
His relationship where
His brother.
his brother,
His sister.
His sister, his mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude,
his relationship with his mother is actually like legitimately
deep,
like heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And how that translates to us as viewers, I mean, it ends up going like to our core, right? Whereas Wolverine, he, in this instance, kind of has more of the unrelatable. Like he has been around for forever, so much so to where he is kind of almost like dead inside,
calloused.
right? Yeah, he's hardened. He's a hardened individual. He leans more towards like anger, right?
But he's so cool.
He's so, yeah. But he's so awesome and cool,
Yeah.
right? But Thor is the one who is like tugging at your heartstrings because you can, like the relationship between a brother, right? You know that he is portraying exactly what you're living, like that kind of thing.
Thor, listen to this. Thor made Rocket Raccoon turn into a therapist
Yeah.
with how much stuff
true.
he's been through.
That's true. Yeah.
Where Rocket was like, all right, time to be captain now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's been through so much that Rocket was like, I need to just kind of sit with this guy and let him talk.
Let him speak. Yeah. My brother's
Isn't that-
dead.
isn't that
My
crazy?
dad's dead.
Dead. All dead.
Yeah.
My nation, my world,
Yeah,
dead.
world
Yep.
destroyed. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's tough vote. I don't want to be the first one to vote
Actually
here.
is.
I don't know who wants to be
I'll
the first
do it.
one.
I'll do it.
Okay,
I'll do
okay.
it. I've always dreamed of having Hugh Jackman and Wolverine in the MCU.
Yeah.
Wolverine, for me, has always been the character who transcends everything of all superheroes. So, while I love Thor, I truly do. He is, I mean, again, Ragnarok is my movie. It's number one. I'll probably turn it on when you guys leave tonight. I'm going to go Wolverine.
Okay. All right. Shimano, do you want to go next, or do you want me to go next?
You can go next.
Are you sure?
I think so.
All right. I really like Chris Hemsworth and what he brought to the character. I really do. And Wolverine, as much as I love Hugh Jackman, I love him. Dude, the fact that he can sing and dance and then be as badass, like he is somebody who's like, I mean, he's ripped, right? He's a very good looking guy, right? That you can be that and have the ability to sing and dance. Like, he makes me so jealous, man.
Yeah.
The fact that I cannot sing or dance and I am not ripped. So, he has it all.
This is the second reference to this movie that I haven't seen.
He is the complete package. Okay?
Is he in Les Mis as well?
I would also. Yeah,
he is. Yeah,
he is.
absolutely. He is. Yeah, because he has
plays-
that ability.
Yeah.
He has that ability.
And he's a machine gun
Jean Valjean,
preacher?
right? He's Jean Valjean.
Jean Valjean.
So yeah, I mean, I love him, but I think Chris Hemsworth, he brought that character into the light for me.
Yeah,
and
totally.
And showed me that there's
It's
more
tough.
to that character
It's
than,
tough, yeah.
than we are led on to believe. So I'm gonna go Thor.
All right. Cool.
Thor's essential.
He is. He's pivotal.
He's so pivotal to the whole storyline and what we experienced.
Yeah,
In the
so
MCU.
pivotal that Thor 2, arguably one of the worst movies,
Was-
is so pivotal.
Yeah,
Yes.
they went back to it. Yeah.
Yes, it's very true. I would just like to throw out first that with this matchup and how hard it's been for us, like that, just Australians are just unfair. Like it's
Yeah.
Cheat code. They're cheat
There
code.
you go. Dude, I genuinely have no idea where he's voting. You?
I don't know.
I'm so excited right now.
It's funny
Like-
you throw Australians out there. Like, I mean, honestly, yeah, like they are a cheat code. I
like
mean,
as you were talking about the two of them,
yeah.
I was just thinking like, and they're both Australian.
Yeah.
like it's just like insane.
it's hard.
like-
It makes it
Yeah,
harder.
Yes,
right?
it makes it really hard.
I'm so excited right now.
So I will have to say, like, I love both the characters. Like I said, Thor has been like an amazing character in my mind. Like I said,
I have a question before. I mean, I don't know if you. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
go ahead.
okay, if you had to, all right, this will be good actually. Okay, so Wolverine's not even your favorite X-Men character, is he?
No.
Is Wolverine?
is he your favorite X-Men hero?
Hold on.
Probably no.
Okay. So hold on here. There's a part 2 of this, right? So Wolverine's not even your favorite X-Men hero, right? Or X-Men hero, right? Does the distance from Wolverine to being your favorite X-Men hero is that a shorter distance than Thor is to being your favorite Marvel hero? That's the bigger question I have for you.
I'm way too confused.
Let's see.
Does that make sense? Like, how far down is Thor from being a favorite Marvel hero to where like Wolverine?
Why are you asking this now? I want to know what he's voting for before.
This helps. I feel like this helps
don't
narrow
think
it
so.
down.
I'd say Thor. Okay, so Wolverine is pretty close. Like
just broke
he's
him.
in the top two.
I think I did.
He's
Yeah,
like
I broke
he's
our
very,
listeners,
very,
I
very
think.
close. And then Thor is probably at the top of the MCU for me.
Okay.
The MCU, yes.
Sweet.
So in that mind, so like, and like you said, Ragnarok is like probably
It's that movie, bro.
is like is definitely like the easiest to watch of all the MCU movies.
yeah.
Totally.
Just an amazing movie. Now, and Wolverine has, of course, he has Logan, and like X-Men: Days of Future Past is phenomenal. Like that's phenomenal.
Correct.
And like X2
Because
is
of Wolverine. Yeah.
Yes, because of Wolverine. And X2 is another like really, really good movie. Now let's see. I am gonna go Wolverine.
All right, there it is.
Dang, dude.
There it is.
Holy smokes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So you complicated things now because
I have
Man.
we have Wolverine and Batman in the mix. Wolverine is your favorite hero currently. Batman is the movie that really kind of like jump started your whole journey through this podcast. For you,
dare I
T-Roll.
say,
T-Roll.
it awoke something in you.
Listen, when I showed you T-Roll, when I showed you The Dark Knight, you literally were calling me Lisan al-Gaib. That's literally what you were calling me.
I know, but again, I loved Wolverine before that movie.
That says a
That's
lot.
the
That
tough
says a lot.
thing.
That
Yeah.
says a lot.
Because
However,
I was not.
But do you feel the same for Wolverine that you did back then after watching everything that Batman has produced for you in your life now? Which you had
Sorry,
the
ask
Dark
that again?
The Dark Knight. You got
Yeah.
The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, The Batman, right? And then you got all the Ben Afflecks, right? Which I know that's not helping the argument, but he was a good Batman. He was a good Batman.
Can you go back about 10 seconds? It'll help your argument. Yeah.
But and then you have Wolverine.
I didn't mind him, by the way. But
Yeah,
it's a
I
good
don't.
one.
I didn't. I didn't mind him either. And then you have Wolverine, like, and the things that he's produced since that moment of awakening.
I'm gonna make it easy. My vote's Wolverine.
Okay. All right.
Because again, he transcends superhero for me. And yeah, so much so. And again, we keep talking about Hugh Jackman. And again, I'm so swayed. I didn't, and maybe that makes me disqualified from voting this way. And maybe some of our listeners are fed up with me at this point. But all of his performances for 20 years,
Right. Correct.
have impacted this decision so much where, because of that, when I watch X-Men 97 next week, I'm like, I can't wait to see Wolverine.
Correct. Yeah. I know. Trust me. I'm right there with you, man. I mean, Wolverine. I'm anticipating him in the series because honestly, that was my first introduction to Wolverine as a child.
Yeah.
And it only grew from there. Hugh Jackman only added to.
I am so like when I found out that
he
added
about a half a foot to him.
Like here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah, he did.
I think I know you guys are voting. So give me this moment here. Give me this moment. When we found out, I'm still disappointed that it was spoiled that Wolverine was in this movie with Deadpool.
The movie's literally called Deadpool and Wolverine.
But I don't think that was originally the intention. I don't think that.
Well, no, I think I think it essentially was because if you remember when Ryan Reynolds made like his first talk about the Deadpool 3, he literally made a
Hugh Jackman back.
Yeah,
But that was after the set photos were spoiled.
No, I don't think it was.
He said when he announced Deadpool 3, he said they're doing Deadpool 3 and he is going to convince Hugh Jackman to come out of retirement. That's
and then
literally
he had a video where he was talking to the camera, and then he walked down the stairs or something, walked in the background,
and Hugh Jackman
that was all before set photos.
Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, well, either way, the point is, for the longest time, I thought it was just a Deadpool 3 movie where he's going to be jumping through the multiverse.
Yeah.
When I found out that Wolverine was going to be in it, I literally was like when you think of professional wrestling and you think when a wrestler shows up as a surprise and people lose their minds, that's what I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as much as I love Batman, and I expect that both of you will vote for him, and I wouldn't.
Maybe.
I wouldn't hate you for it, honestly. For me, Wolverine was always the guy. I wanted when we got Spider-Man in 2016. I was excited, but I wanted Wolverine.
Yeah.
They partnered with the wrong studio, but it's okay. So I'm voting. I'm voting Wolverine.
All right. Yeah.
Real quick, since you brought up Deadpool 3, over under 2.5 dismemberments of Wolverine and Deadpool in the movie.
Ooh, over.
You think over?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go under. Just because Justin went over.
Yes.
you have gone over?
I purposely put it at 2.5 because 2.5 would mean
you need 3.
Because I think it'll be one of them one of them each.
Yeah.
Is
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
It's got to happen.
Yeah.
So is it going to be more than one? I'll go over as well.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Right.
it just something came to mind. I was like, that'd be really cool to figure out what's going to happen with that.
Yeah.
Okay, how you guys voting?
I mean, Batman is my favorite character.
Of course.
Shamato, Batman is your favorite character. We just established.
Yes.
So if we're all voting on our lines, which I already did,
Yeah.
then it's obvious who wins. But will we have this moment late in the podcast
Yeah.
where someone flips?
Listen, Wolverine is a phenomenal character, and Hugh Jackman brought a lot of light to the character that wasn't there before. But Wolverine in the comic books isn't necessarily Wolverine in the movies. And
Sure. I believe that.
But there is a happy medium. There is a happy medium there that the comic books adapted to Hugh Jackman's performance, which says a lot about the performance.
Yes.
So the likability of Wolverine has grown throughout the years here, but the difference is that it's going up against Batman, whose popularity has always grown from inception. Right?
Yeah.
The inception of Batman has only grown. Right. It's tough. Honestly, it is tough. However, I'll say this, Shamato. I'm going to say this.
Right.
He's voting Wolverine, right? If Kevin Conroy never existed, I would not vote Batman. But because Kevin Conroy existed and gave us the performance that my Batman is in my head, I'm voting Batman because of that.
Yeah.
So there you go. We have Wolverine and Batman vote. And Shamato, take the floor.
All right. So my first thing will be is it's villains are important, and so the most important villain to Batman, of course, being the Joker. And I'm just bringing the whole reason I'm bringing this up once again is because Australians are unfair. because like Heath Ledger is the Joker, like another Australian just killing it in a major role, and just like uplifting Batman, because I really do think it is the conjunction of those two characters more than any other two characters in the entire comic book universe that make them so unique and so strong that they build this, this like this arch, this connection between the two of them that makes them so great. Like you have both sides so strong. Like I don't think there's another like true 1-2 punch in comic books where you're like, this hero is so elite and his villain is so elite.
Correct.
When you put them together, it's exponential growth on that in my mind. So I have to go with Batman.
Yes.
Yeah.
With all that being said,
That's fair.
The winner of our favorite superhero bracket is Batman, which honestly, I mean, if you didn't see that coming, you're an idiot.
I could have saved us an hour and 20 minutes.
Correct.
Probably.
Yeah, for sure. But DC, I want to point this out, Shimano. DC wins the bracket.
It does.
That's right.
Next time we got to do the bracket, but power levels, and we'll see if we can get the same conclusion.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
Can I say one thing?
Please.
So I voted for Wolverine.
Yeah.
But you guys showed him respect, so I want to show Batman some respect.
Mm-hmm.
So Batman is so great that there is an entire pitch of voice. I'm Batman. Yeah. That we ascribe to literally Batman.
Right.
Yes.
Correct. That's a great point.
Think about that. Isn't that funny?
I could hear that all day, man.
Isn't
Yeah,
that funny?
Great. That's
if you
fu-
think
that's
about
great.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no complaints on my end.
Yeah.
Batman's obviously fantastic. The only people I'd vote over Batman were Wolverine, and that's probably it.
Yeah.
Maybe Iron Man, but
He didn't make it that far.
Well, I voted for Iron Man earlier, actually. So yeah, it is Iron Man. I would have voted for Iron Man, but that's okay. We've got the Russian bracket master
it's all
over
good.
here.
Oh, Russian bracket manager.
No, you did good, man. This was fun. This is a great podcast.
Yeah, man.
A lot of fun. Man, yeah, that was fun. So Batman is clearly the winner. But you know what? Like, I think a lot of people would vote that way too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
he is iconic, man. He
Yeah,
is so
I think
fun.
we did a good job with conversation throughout the entirety of
Yeah.
this bracket, and honestly, there were a lot of like mixed votes that I didn't expect.
Yeah.
So
that was a lot of fun. You did good.
Yeah.
I know I was critical of you earlier, but you recovered in the later rounds.
you're welcome.
We'll say that. You're definitely like a Saturday, Sunday player, not a Thursday, Friday player. For my golfers out there. All right, here we go.
Thank you.
We will be back next week. So we talked a lot about Wolverine. We'll be back next week. We'll be reviewing. It's the first 2 episodes. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
episodes 1, 2. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Of the X-Men '97 reboot, or is it even a reboot? Or
It's
is it-
not. I don't think it's a reboot. I think it's a continuation.
It's a
I thought.
sequel reboot.
Oh shoot!
It's both.
Oh,
so
it
it's,
is?
so it's
Okay.
like the Suicide Squad.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Essentially,
Okay.
yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
It's gonna like the storyline that was from X-Men in the original is gonna continue, but with a different spin.
I like it. All right. Well, I'm excited to watch it. We will be reviewing it, so come back next week. Nice segue there, huh? Thanks, Hugh Jackman. Yeah, so come back next week to hear our review of the first 2 episodes of X-Men '97. And yeah, with all that in mind, thank you so much for listening to the Royal Geek Podcast. We will see you next time, you peasants.